Welcome to my crafting table. This is Joan-Marie Domino. I have another video for you where I'm going to be using Mod Podge and these really pretty eggs. I picked these up at the Dollar Tree and they came painted in those colors. I'm going to make 3 different signs. I'm going to take you step by step. It's not hard to do it and you're going to love how they come out. If these are the kinds of projects you like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, give me a thumbs up, share with your friends. The first thing I want to do is pick out some napkins. I'm not going to be painting those eggs, so I got a big pile here from Vippies Designs Napkin Shop, www.vippies.com. They have hundreds of napkins, so I had to go through what they had and find some that I really liked that would go with the eggs. And ultimately, I was able to get it down to 3 different napkins. I decided the bunny would go on the blue, the pink and white one would go on the pink, and the yellow I would put the tulips. I've got my 3 eggs, and remember, I'm not going to paint it. I'm going to put 2 coats of Mod Podge on. There it is. That's the one I'm using. Oops, make sure that your top is on. All right, so let's start with the blue one. And I'm going to put a little bit on, and ooh, that was probably way more than I needed. Yes, it is. Okay, sometimes I get a little overzealous and also in a rush, even though I tell you not to be in a rush, and I got a little bit too much on there. But anyway, I'm going to smooth it all out. And I went ahead and put some on the yellow because I had a lot of extra. And now we're going to do the same thing with the yellow. And remember, when you are putting the glue on for the iron-on method, you definitely want to make sure you get all of the edges. Now, I'm also going in with my brush and removing that glue from the crevices. I don't want that in there, and you'll see when I finish up the signs. All right, so now we're on to the pink one. And the same thing, just make sure all of the glue goes to the edges, and I'm just cleaning up those little spaces. Okay, so now let's put these off to dry. All right, we're ready for coat number 2 because they're dry. And what I'm doing is I'm going to be way more mindful of how much glue, Mod Podge I'm putting on there, even though it's not really expensive. They don't have to be wasteful, so I'm going to try to put on less. But even though I'm putting on less, I am doing an even coat. And here's a tip, when you are Mod Podging, whether it's the iron-on method or another method, make sure you get glue on the entire surface. Don't miss any spots, because if you miss a spot, when you go to seal, that's exactly where you're going to get a wrinkle, because the napkin is not adhered without the Mod Podge underneath. Okay, we've got those all covered. Let's give them a little bit of time to dry. The glue is dry, and I just want to show you there was glue in the holes. I just took a shish kebab stick and I pushed it through, and all of the glue came right out. We're going to start with the yellow egg, and this is the napkin that I chose. It's so pretty. I'm only going to need 1 panel, so I'm going to cut that off. I'll put the other 3 panels aside for another project. I love this napkin. Look how it fits right around that egg. It's like perfect. I'm going to take some Mod Podge, put it between my fingers, and this is how I'm going to remove that top ply, because we only use the top ply when we decoupage. That's the printed ply, and I'm going to be using the iron-on. Just want to show you, there's my iron. So let's lay the napkin down on top of the egg and make sure we have good placement, and this napkin works perfectly. The curve of the flowers with the curve of the egg, it's just beautiful. All right, so now we're going to get a piece of baking parchment, put that on top. That is going to protect the iron and the napkin, and the iron is ready to go. And what's happening is the glue under the napkin is heating from the iron and melting, and now the napkin is going to adhere perfectly to that egg. Look how beautiful that is. It's nice and flat, and the yellow underneath works absolutely perfectly. I'm ready to do the blue egg, and here is the beautiful napkin I picked out with these really cute little bunnies. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to remove the top printed layer from the bottom layers, and I'm just doing that with a little bit of glue between my fingers. I gotta do this one a little bit differently. I want to cover the entire egg, so I'm actually going to need 2 panels for this, but I'm going to try to save that bunny up there on the top, and I think I'm going to be able to. All right, the placement there looks good, and I'm able to put my baking parchment back down on top, and we're going to go over the egg again. And remember, the glue is melting, and that's why the napkin is adhering to that egg. All right, let's take a look. Oh, it looks so pretty with that blue underneath. It just goes so well with that napkin. On to the third egg, which is a pretty pink egg. And this is the one that I chose. It says, "He is risen," with beautiful watercolor floral, and it fits on there perfect. The only thing is, I don't like the defined edge on the bottom, so I'm going to soften that edge. I'm going to do that with my water brush. The water brush has a tube of water, and the water feeds through the end. That's where the brush is, and I'm able to trace along the image. It dispenses the water, and it weakens the napkin. I'm able to pull the napkin apart. I am being gentle, and I'm getting a nice, soft, deckled edge. Okay, now that I'm all done, you can see how it looks. Now let's put it down on the egg. No, it's not covering the entire egg, but you know what? I'm fine with that. This is going to work out really nice. Just want to make sure the words don't fall into that little line there. And I think we've got it. That looks good. Okay, so just want to make sure you know how picky I am. Okay, I'm going to put down my piece of parchment, baking parchment. Do the same thing over with my iron. The glue is melting, and that's why the napkin is going to adhere to the wood. All right, let's pick it up and let's take a look. I love that. It's so pretty that I don't mind that at all. I think that that deckled edge on top looks perfect. Now here's all three of the eggs that I did, the pink, the blue, and the yellow. And now it's time to remove that excess napkin from the edges. I'm just using a regular nail file. I'm doing a downward stroke, and that excess napkin around the egg is just coming right off, and I'm getting a beautiful clean edge. And I was able to save that bunny, so I was very happy I can use that on another project. Love that, so pretty with the blue. Okay, and you can see I saved the bunny, and I have 3 more projects I can do with that napkin. All right, let's move on to the yellow one. Same thing, I'm going to use the fingernail file, and I'm just going to go down with a downward stroke, and it's going to come right off the edge, and it's absolutely beautiful. All right, take a look at all 3 of these eggs with all the different colors underneath, so you don't have to just use white. Now, I didn't like the fact that you couldn't see the crevices as much as I would like to, so I tried using a shish kebab stick, and that really didn't work. That was tearing the napkin, so I actually ended up using my fingernail. I usually don't like doing that, and I'm sure I have a tool that would work, but I went ahead and did that anyway, but now I can see more of the definition in all of the eggs. It came out really pretty. And you know, I love using the iron-on method. The iron-on method gives a nice, flat, wrinkle-free surface. Look how pretty those came out. All right, I'm going to finish them up, and I'll be right back. We'll start with the pink egg, and that's the napkin that I chose. And here it is completed. I love the decal on the bottom. I'm going to hold it up so you can see. There's little pearls inside all of the flowers. And on the top flowers, I have some pearls as well. I love how that came out. It's so soft with the pink underneath the napkin. Now on to the blue one, and this is the napkin with the bunny that I chose, and let me show you how I finished it up. I put some florals on top. I'm going to hold it up so you can get a closer look. Look at the blue paint underneath the napkin. It's perfect. It's so nice and soft. On to the yellow one, and there's the napkin that I chose. Such a pretty napkin. And look how it is on the egg. It's so nice. This one really looks vintage. I love the yellow peeking through. Well, here you go. These are all 3 of the eggs, the Dollar Tree eggs that I transformed. I didn't even use any paint, with Mod Podge and 3 beautiful napkins I got from Vippies Designs, www.vippies.com. I took you step by step for a project that is not difficult to do. You can definitely do this. Share this with your friends. Go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Give me a comment and a thumbs up. And visit me on my Facebook page. I have an artist page. I hope you enjoyed this project. I hope that you're going to give it a try. And thank you so much for joining me.